offerings in this guy little plate because he plays the role like a messenger, right? And these offerings in the central part of Mexico, most of them consist in hearts. And we notice paintings and carvings in Chichen Itza, north side, when you see people that has been beheaded, they cut the head off. And all this will actually start to show that Chichen Itza is Mayan Toltec. So these people start to be known, and they claim, or they call themselves Itzais, the witches of water. And the name Itzais start to sound around the Mayan word, right, as the bad guys, right? The ones that you should not be messed with, those ones. Because the Itzais are the ones that they capture, they cut the head off, they open your chest, and they take your heart. So every once in a while with its size, we need to please our gods, right? We send the best warriors to the nearest city, and those warriors have to bring us, maybe some people, to do the offerings. And those best warriors was actually to make them be kind of like a scare. They used to wear, right, jaguar skin, right? So by this jaguar skin that you were wearing, and you also have your head coming inside of a jaguar face, that was scary in that time, right? So the tactics in those days for the elite of these warriors, in this case jaguar warriors or eagle warriors, was to scare. Today, it's not about scaring, right? Because today people, when they go to war, they use something like that, some those flowers and stuff, or different colors, right? Camouflage with this vegetation, and they come right here and they use that one. But when the weather changes and it snows and everything is white, they don't use the same color, right? They use another color. So the old days was different. This is what I mean. Chichen Itza was built, right? This is the north side, Mayan Toltec, as you will see. It was abandoned by the 1300s and 1400s for reasons unknown either. So maybe a war happened and these people abandoned. By the 1500s, when the Spaniards arrived, Chichen Itza was actually one of many cities that already been abandoned for 100 years. So the Spaniards never did what they did in the place that I come from, one church or one cathedral. So the pyramid is still there, right? By the 1800s, people like you arrived with all these needs to find and have maybe an adventure with these Mayan ruins and Mayan civilization, and you guys arrived and you got in touch with someone that might brought you here. But the only people that came brought you here in the 1800s was chewing gum workers. That's it. The other ones that I knew. So you hire chewing gum workers, we cut the bushes to you, and after 30 days walking to this vegetation, you will be here where you are, and you will have this pyramid in front of you. 30 days walking to the jungle in that time was very, very tough, maybe not anymore. Because during that time, really, there was not very nice sleeping. During those 30 days you were with me traveling here, and you got bit by mosquitoes by thousands. 100 million people so far has died of mosquito bites. Okay, 100 million. You know which is the disease of mosquito bites that killed you? Malaria. And obviously it was like that one in the old days. But you arrived after 30 days, right? And maybe you got high fevers by the time you go back home, but you got what you want, the pyramids with all that one. Maybe you got tired, right? If you got tired, the Mayas in the old days, they used to offer this service to those travelers. We don't do that one no more, right? So don't get any ideas. They used to offer a service like this. Okay? Not anymore. So in case you guys get tired today, sorry, you find yourself a shade, sit down, right? But not more caring. You guys arrive in the 1800s, no cameras, right? Only paper. And you start painting or drawing how that pyramid looks in the 1800s. And you might have maybe, or you done maybe drawing like this. Okay? Many drawings you guys did, so the best ones of you will be shown one day in New York, in a place in New York, because a book will be done up here, and it's called Incidents of Travel in the Yucatan Peninsula by John Lloyd Steven and Freddie Catterall. The first one's coming. By 1904, someone else arrived thanks to all these stories and all these drawings. The guy's name was Edward Thompson. Edward Thompson arrived in Chichen Itza. He bought Chichen Itza for $75 in 1904, and when he bought Chichen Itza for $75, he decided to make himself a house. The house he did is 100 yards behind this pyramid. It's Edward Thompson's house. Today it's called Hacienda Resort Hotel, one of the 3 hotels that we got behind the pyramid. But when Edward Thompson bought this place, he bought it for one reason only, because Mayas might mention to him that Chichen Itza people, the ones used to live right here and worship in these temples, they have chosen this place because the water, the drinking water. We have 12 sinkholes or chenes wells, right? 11 of them used to supply the population of water. One of them that you guys are going to be walking, I hope, in your free time, it's only 5 minutes that way. That would be representing for the Mayas in that time the mouth open of the most important god, that was the rain god Chak. So the rain god, in order to try to keep happy, they used to please him by offering all kinds of offerings, obviously including human beings, covered by jade, gold, and turquoise, and everything was cast into the mouth open of the rain god. Those are the stories that I mentioned to him. So he requested a machine one day, and this machine arrived a few months later. Something like this, like 4 clamps with 1 chain, will be delivered to the bottom of this sinkhole. And every time when these ones open and come up with obviously pots and jade and gold and turquoise, the bracelets, necklaces, here in chest plates, right? And he finished his job, went home, built himself a house, and he left inside of the house this. Okay? You saw it on the baños, right? When you went to use the baños, you saw it right there, okay? Then by the 1920s, Mexico realized and started to uncover it, started to restore. So when the pyramid has been uncovered and restored, ended up looking like that. So that pyramid looks like this in the 1920s. So 1920s, no more trees, right? But it didn't look like it the way it is. After many years, the pyramid ended up looking the way you see it, right? Because all the work has been done. But in the 1950s, they started to wondering, why did the Maya use these buildings? If somebody actually really lives right here, this was somebody's house, or the building was just a worship place where a high priest might get in there, he pray and he show up and he come up, and when he come up maybe by that side of the pyramid, he addressed everyone else, right? Do you notice that these guys are clapping here? They always do. There's a lot of these tour guides that end up clapping for you guys. When they clap for you, they are saying and they are showing to the groups that because the way how they clap, or because the clapping that they do, the sound of those claps when it hits these stairways, comes back as the sound of a bird with the name Quetzal. So all the groups, they listen that the Quetzal bird sounds from the claps that they do. That's what they mention to the groups, right? I don't, because I don't believe it. I don't think that none of these Mayan people today, or tour guides, they might know that the Mayas in the past, they end up producing this kind of acoustic that will sound like a bird, to show to the groups one day into the future after 1,000 years when this pyramid was built. Do you agree? Really? There has another reason, but not that one. So they start wondering all that one. One pyramid in Palenque was found, and they found actually that the pyramids, some of them were used like tombs, like the Egyptian pyramids. So a pyramid somewhere else, but here they discover a huge coffin or sarcophagus inside. Okay? When they opened the coffin sarcophagus, they discovered this guy buried, or was lying inside of the sarcophagus, and they discovered his name and everything, and his name is Pacal. He is the only Mayan king or ruler found inside of one pyramid. Okay, and this is the guy, and he's supposed to be wearing all this when he was buried. 1953. 1953 in Palenque, Chiapas, Mexico, was found this guy, tomb. Because it happens in that year, right? They thought that all the pyramids, that's what actually represent, or they might be a tomb. So when they came to this one and they started digging at the south stairway, they thought that they might find one person buried. Nothing was found when they were working in the south, but they decided to try it and they worked at the north. The north stairway discovered 3 steps down, as it happens when they discovered this guy, and they started to discover one by one 62 more. The 62 here in this pyramid is not like here, because this guy, when was found, they found 2 huge stairways that goes very deep into the ground. One goes to the entire pyramid, and the second one deep into the ground when they found him. In this case, the 62 steps are not going anywhere down. The 62 are going up. And that going up is because what they found right there, and they realized that one later, is the stairway of another pyramid inside. So there's no one buried, it's just one more pyramid built inside.
Inside there.
Exactly. And with a small pyramid inside there, when they reached those 62 steps, that was actually the last step of that stairway. Discovered that the small pyramid also has a temple, square thing. The temple has 2 chambers. When they cleared the first chamber, discovered one guy holding one little plate on his belly. It's still there, okay? And it's this guy. And a second chamber at the back discovered another figure. But the second figure at the back is actually a jaguar painted in red color that has 73 spots of jade around the body, jade on their eyes too. Still there too. For many years, you guys' free time was actually to climb all the buildings. You decide which ones, how many you were up to do that one today, right? But as you can see, they don't let you do that one no more. Not to go inside, not to go outside, and you will be wondering why. Simple. It's not the same number of people that visit Chichen Itza now that it did 10 years ago or 5 years ago. So obviously every time when they build a new hotel, people, if they're going to stay around, they might want to do this trip maybe one day of their holidays, right? So